Okay. I should be live. Alright. Alright. Welcome everyone to BoozeBash 9 Chemtech playoffs loser brackets. Loser brackets match 1. We have Crystal, or we have Targon versus Ixtal in this match, and hopefully I will be able to get a co-commentator here during the match while they're drafting. Let me get their, because they linked the draft. Let me grab it. We'll put the draft up right here. All right. Okay, I'm going to do this. All right, I should be at good volume. Cool. Let me set this off. This to a different screen. Cool. All right, banning is underway. Let's see how this plays out. It's really, I'm not sure what we're gonna ban from against Ixtal. You probably have to ban some of Fuel's pool. He has a pretty wide champ pool, so it might not be 100% worth it. Maybe we're looking at something like a Hecarim ban. We ban Zac, they ban Gwen, makes sense. These all make sense. It looks like Hockey is... Alright, Hockey is subbing on Targon for the cooked noodle. So Hockey's role is locked to top jungle mid, which is everything that Hockey plays. Okay, so they banned the Silas, they banned the Zac. Makes sense. They might have to look at banning like Aurelion Soul. So we're good. Alright, the ban is Aurelion Soul, so we're not going to see Hockey playing. So likely to not see Hockey mid lane this game. I think we're still most likely to just see Hockey even just go top lane. Ban Kled. They're really pinching. They're pinching Fuel, but giving. But they're gonna give like the Mundo and the Cho'Gath over for them to potentially pick both of them, put some damage in the jungle and everywhere else, and they're gonna ban the Seraphine away. Seraphine was a very powerful pick for Targon in prior rounds. So yeah, looking like a pretty good set of bans from both sides for game 1. Ornn insta-picked for, yeah, Ornn is an instant pick there. For Targon, Ornn can be flexed between different people. I think Hockey can play it. Christo can also play it. The Cho'Gath picked up. Not that could go to 2 different players. That could go to Fuel or it could go to Kel, depending on who wants it and how they want to draft the rest of things. They have some flexibility with roles as well, so maybe we see some interesting set of roles for Ixtal. And they're gonna pick Jinx, so that Jinx is likely to go to Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf has been playing the Jinx for them. Also, maybe I'll need to tag a mod to Yeah. All right, let's see how these have gone. So Heimerdinger picked for Dibella, so that's a support Heimerdinger, and then a Mumu. Okay, that Amumu can go jungle or support. I guess because they could put Dibella in a different lane. I do think that this Amumu is going into the jungle. Which leads me to believe maybe we're gonna get something like Scritch mid. The assassin pool has really opened up. I think that Ixtal probably, seeing these champions, should likely think Scritch mid and might do some banning. They have picked the Vi. So Vi for the Gingerbread Man, one of his best junglers. Or one of the junglers he's been quite good on over time. Alright, and bans coming in. I think they should ban Fizz Kiana. And force Scritch, if he's gonna go, either force Scritch to play the Amumu, or pick something he's maybe not 100% comfy on. But if they leave any of those up, they probably have to end up picking it. And there's no ban. And we're gonna see a Zill ban. I don't know if they just missed the ban. I guess they missed it. And no one's typing what the ban is in the chat, so I'm guessing that they're just gonna take a missed ban. Unfortunately. Because they don't have to miss a ban. There's a Zeri. They're hovering a Zeri ban. Oh, I guess they might think it's something like Scritch bot with a Zeri. Very interesting. And they could like move Heimerdinger to another role and put. I'm not the biggest fan of Zeri. I think now Scritch just has his pick of mid laners if they don't have a good pick into it. The set band as well. I like the set band. It allows for it pretty much allows for Scritch to have what it like. If they don't pick mid here, then it allows them to have a counter into whatever Scritch wants or whatever they want in mid. Okay, and they're gonna take a Lux. Okay, so Jinx Lux bot. Very likely. I don't think that Lux is going mid lane. They could send it mid lane. But with the likelihood of like a Fizz or a Kiana, I don't think you want that necessarily. And I think they're really gonna need a lot of damage coming out of these other lanes. They're gonna take Ashe. I don't know if Ashe is enough damage, but we'll see. Which team is Noodle and which team is Stink? So Noodle is Targon. That is Targon, and Stinky is and Stinktall is Ixtal. Stink is Ixtal, our forest land. There's the an Akshan. Okay, very interesting. Kind of. So Akshan is definitely a pick I was not expecting, but he's very strong right now. Hopefully my audio levels are good. Please let me know if my audio levels are okay. Because I'm monitoring them, and I should be at a good enough volume level. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad it sounds okay. I don't want it to be too soft, and I don't want it to be too loud. I'm trying to keep it at a good rate. And Lilia, the final pick. That is a fuel Lilia. And that could go top lane. They could flex Kel into the mid lane on Cho'Gath, and then give Lilia to fuel and have him go top into this Ornn. Which I think should honestly be just fine for the Lilia, as long as she doesn't get hit by anything. But she's so fast when she starts doing things that I feel like Lilia could take good advantage of it. But we have Ashe and Heimer versus Jinx and Lux in the bot. We have some form of Akshan Ornn and Cho'Gath Lilia as the solo laners, and then it's Vi and Amumu in the jungle. So yeah, let's see how. So we'll get into draft here, or we'll get into the in-client draft here very shortly. And once they get into, we probably need a poll. I'm not sure if any moderators are here or not. But if there are, that we will need a poll. Oh, cool! Gotta love poor Professor screwing up everything. Okay.
No cure for fools.
Let's show the. Let's show the game. Show the draft up on the screen.
I do not rest.
Okay. They're taking their time with their bans. I guess they're trying to figure out what to spell and how to spell it. I'm guessing that Ixtal is spelling hello based on the HEL, but it could be something with just straight up hell. The other one, ARY, so I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna round that one out. But picks coming in. Let's see what Scritch is taking. Scritch picked Gangplank, but Gangplank wasn't a picked champion. Scritch, he thought he was banning still. Oops. Okay. Okay. We'll be getting back into it shortly.
No cure for fools. I do not rest.
I won't hold my breath.
You used to.
Okay. We're gonna get the same types of bans. It's the same letters from both teams. They decided to not change what they're spelling. Debella hovering that Vigar, hovering the Volibear, and ultimately gonna pick Heimer. Very likely. Oh, Debella is I guess Debella could be taking the Ashe? Okay, interesting. I'm wondering if this is a setup where Noodle plays the Ornn, Hockey plays the Akshan, and Scritch plays the Amumu. And Cthulhu plays Heimer. Okay. Interesting. I kind of like this setup. Although they could just be picking and then they... Like, I mean, I feel like you're picking this, you're not swapping, but I guess that it could be a switch. There could be some switches. You don't know why, you never know what. Why I never mind facing a Renata. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't faced any god tier Renatas. Is probably why. For me at least. Well, yeah, like I just haven't faced any like god tier god tier Renata players. And besides, these aren't the actual bans anyways, so oh, it's sorry. They're spelling sorry. I see what they're saying. They're gonna put S at the end. These people are probably gonna ban an O champion for hello, I would guess. Yeah, there it is. And they banned the Olaf of all champions, sending a message to hockey boys. Yeah, probably can't poll.
Fine. I don't need more enemies.
Oh, hello, BoozeBash. It's the BoozeBash channel. Welcome in, owner of the channel. Oh, true. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a hockey Amumu. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then everything else here kind of lines up. It's Fuel on the Lilia, Kyle on the Vi, Turtle on the Lux, Lone Wolf on the Jinx, and probably Kel on the Gath. Alright. As we get ready to load up into the game, I'm going to be right back quickly. But I'm going to quickly set up for the second part of this one. Because I don't have the overlay, because I do not have Streamlabs OBS, we're going to do it my scuffed way. But shouldn't be too bad. All right, there's 3 minutes of spectator delay, just about. So I will put the draft up, and then I will go quickly to. I will quickly step away and be back before everything starts. Oh, okay, I am back. We are going into game. Let's look at all the pretty skins. Snowbirdinger, High Noon Ash, Space Group, Orn. I like the Oxjon. Broken Covenant Show. Big skin for Kel. And all the other ones are really great as well. So, into game we go. Gonna change up all of this stuff. Okay, Lilia. I don't know where Lilia or Cho'Gath are going. They both just bought the same items, so. Anyways, let's scroll out a little bit. Let's remove that. Let's throw on timers. Let's go. Alright. We have a 5-stack to start.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I'm gonna move the chat. Wait. You can't move the chat behind it? Interesting. Alright. So it is gonna be a Lilia top. So I was kind of right. All right, early game. We have 2 culls. A cull from the Oxjon. I don't know what is it with people buying cull. Like, I understand that it's a good spike of gold, but like this Ashe versus Jinx, like in my opinion, the Ashe. Yeah, okay, good dodge by Fuel. Hockey coming here is kind of troll. He's kind of really hurting himself against Kyle. Kyle's just gonna run up into his jungle and take all of his stuff, and Amumu has to recognize to go up to Kyle's jungle and take his stuff. Our Vi's jungle, I should say. I shouldn't just say. But yeah, Hockey's losing a ton because he went blue buff gank instead of doing like Blue Wolves Gromp gank, which is probably a bit more maybe a bit more optimal. Gives Fuel more time to push, because now he knows just not to push. Alright, some good damage in from the Ornn. Ornn might actually be... Okay, Ornn's gonna get a solo bolo here. Has to forces Lilia's flashes for it, but it's a first blood for the Ornn here. Oh, gank coming in from the Vi is gonna land onto Cthulhu. They're gonna focus back onto the Ashe, but they're kind of burning down damage from the Heimerdinger. Luckily it's kind of wavering between players, which made it a bit easier. Looks like mid lane is definitely just kind of a farm fest. Some trading going on from the there's definitely some trading going on between Kel and Scritch, but it's not too much. Kel is just trying to farm and survive lane because Oxjon's a pretty dangerous thing. Debella is in a bad spot. Turtle uses Ghost. Should get the kill here on the Jinx. Does trade, so no get excited much of anything. Lone Wolf is going to take a ton of damage from Cthulhu's Heimerdinger. And is going to be sent packing. Everything but the Jinx is flash burned. And the Ashes cleanse burned in the last fights. Really good dodging by Debella. If she had just kind of walked into the zap, she definitely dies pretty fast and the Jinx gets a reset. Scritch in a little bit of trouble here. Flash from Kyle is up, doesn't need it, lands the Q, and this Oxjon's gonna be forced to flashes late and dies to the Vi. It's to the Vi E. We're seeing a lot of duels here. But yeah, one thing that's really to the Ornn's advantage Is this Hextech? I don't know. This might be Hextech. I don't know. We got some good ganking from the Vi as well. Hockey hasn't done a ton. Hockey hasn't had a great opportunity since his level 2 gank to really do a lot of ganks. But yeah, so it's only about a 400 gold lead for Ixtal because of the trading back and forth of kills. Once this Lilia gets a few more levels, it should be better. Kel is in a little trouble. Kel forced to flash. No follow from Amumu or Akshan to get the kill. But we have Scritch able to push his wave in and take a back if he wants. He might want to hold it, but Kel's gonna be forced to burn teleport, and Akshan's just gonna use this to rotate to the dragon. This is a tiny bit dangerous, although mid does have priority. Alright, Fuel now has the ability to do some damage. Is forced to ult, but Ornn is already not taking a ton of damage stacking the crystals. Instead of going for Drake, they actually went bot lane. Good flash from the Jinx. It's gonna result in, I think everyone survives besides the Lux here, and Scritch dies to the Gingerbread Man. Jinx just sees one more auto, doesn't have sums, was forced to did flash away. So in all, 1-for-1 support for mid laner, kills going into the bot laners. For both sides. I believe that's a kill. I believe that was a kill for Vi and a kill for either Ashe or Heimer. I wasn't sure. But regardless, Noodle Magic is walking to the mid lane. As they're sending Akshan to top lane. They do not want Akshan into going against Kel right now. Kel's feast is almost up. He'll be getting his second or third stack here off of that, I would guess. I don't have exact stack counts on him, but we can look. He has 1 feast. So he has chomped un minion. But meanwhile, the bot lane gets a double. 1 for the Lux, 1 for the Jinx. So, me not having directed cam caused us to miss that, so that is unfortunate on my end. But I think we would have been late to it anyways because they were fighting in mid and they like prioritizing these fights like that. And Kel didn't nom either of those minions, so his feast is still up. Maybe he's looking for an execute. I think he can have the he almost, if he could get in range, he could have chomped, but just using a Q at long range to get that. Meanwhile, the bot lane is gonna take a recall for Ixtal, and should be just fine for them. The wave is on Targon's side, but unless Heimer doesn't have turrets down, it'll naturally push. So they're just gonna push this wave. They're gonna get this wave to crash, but they don't. And they're gonna try and get a turret plate, I guess. But in top lane, we have something brewing. Hockey Boys is there. Oh, but the Gingerbread Man's also there. This is gonna be a very dead Akshan. And let's see if they can catch this. And they should be able to catch Hockey out here. Oh, Fuel's too fast. You're not getting past this. Beautifully executed game for Ixtal in this game. Baiting the 1v1, getting the counter gank to the Amumu. The Vi, a full level up, had ultimate. Meanwhile, Amumu does not. Amumu also burned flash, and that is Noodle Magic's teleport. Kel opting to not interrupt it. Maybe could not interrupt it. But this Lilia is gonna start to get pretty big, and this Vi is already pretty large. As Vi will be going towards has an early Dirk, might not build a Dirk based Mythic, might opt for Sunderer. I know Vi's typical setup should be I've seen it go Sunderer Black Cleaver, but this could be more like a lethality build. Oh, that's bad for Noodle Magic. He gets to eat all of Lilia's damage. No burn coming in. Hockey instantly coming down bot lane when it had a chance. Does get the hook onto Lone Wolf. Does get the Q onto Lone Wolf afterwards. Does not have another Q and there's no follow-up. So Ixtal's bot lane walks out just fine. Akshan is there. Wow, nice snipe from Lone Wolf. Fuel getting a top lane execute and unable to kill the Ornn. Oh, the Akshan does get the shutdown onto the Jinx. That's some nice gold going into Akshan's pocket. But Kel just doing almost nothing this game. Buys first item ever Frost. Setting himself up to be in a pretty good situation. Being pretty deathless, killless with 1 assist. Yeah, Lilia top is gonna be pretty scary. And the death is the second death is an execute. The first one, he got a little too ambitious and thing. Oh, Hockey Boys got found out, and Kyle gets a kill on the Vi. But cease and desist was used, so no catching on to anybody else. He's just gonna walk away, and he gonna look at Drake. And you have a Cho'Gath. Doesn't have Feast, but you can just call him over. Cho'Gath is a full level up. Kyle is, or the Gingerbread Man, 2 levels up on the Vi. The Ornn is a level up on the Lilia, but the dragon went down, and Kel did have a feast stack for it, so he gets that. Lilia with the magic pen boots is really starting to schmoove. Wow, Conqueror Lilia. Wow, this is almost a dead Ornn. It's not quite a dead Ornn. He's gonna flash for it, get it, and walk. He's gonna have to walk all the way around and hopefully have a blast cone plant. Which does not have it, but he is Lilia, so he will just walk around. And they know the location of Hockey Boys, which is huge. No? Oh, there's Curse of the Sad Mummy, only lands onto Vi. This Hockey Boys is in a bad situation. Scritch unable to get the kill onto the Vi, does burn Ignite in the process. No flash is used from Ixtal at all. That's huge damage from this Lux already. So Cho'Gath gonna use that nice silence. If Akshan wants to get in melee range of Cho should just use E to get a slow and a guaranteed silence in a Q. Pretty much guaranteed. But yeah. Alright, directed camera, we'll switch into that. Where are these? Alright, Fuel is very scary here against this Ornn. Ornn is in a bad spot, and there's a Vi here. Vi lands the... Vi keeps landing all these Qs. A 5-0 and 2 Eclipse Vi. Alright. Damage coming out from the Vi. There's no... The Jinx with the first item, Storm Razors. I like that a lot. I'm not so sure what these builds are gonna be, but I have a good idea that Storm Razors is a solid item now, and I'm very excited to see it get some play. Alright. So, the Gingerbread Man and Fuel and the Lilia are in this jungle. Hockey is not safe. This Amumu can get Lilia ulted. Does, in fact, use the Lilia ultimate. This is a dead Amumu. Ixtal. Both of these teams are playing for their BoozeBash life. Nice kill for Fuel. He gets double buffs off of that. That's pretty big. Lilia working her way towards her mythic will indeed have the burn, the Leandries on recall. So Ixtal taking a significant early game lead. Let's see how they take this lead into the middle part of the game. Second Herald will be up soon. Bot tower is down. Jinx and Lux free to rotate to other lanes. Also, top lane, pretty... Like, I could see a world where they send Fuel bot, they keep Kel mid, and they just send the bot lane to top and just take the tower, because it's the next tower down. And then you have your bot lane on the map for... Then you have bot lane on the map on the side of Rift Herald, but they opt to send the bot lane back towards bot side of map. Drake isn't up for another minute, and the Herald is up in 10 seconds, but they still will have super priority here. Looks like they're going to take the tower here. And Noodle Magic will get the knock up onto Fuel, but it will do... Onto the Lilia, but it will do nothing. So from here, we're likely to see... let me just take the camera back on. And we're likely to see... Rift Herald for the red side. Jinx is just 2v1ing down bot lane. It has to be super careful. Oh, it is Lone Wolf on the Lux. I didn't even notice that. Because Lone Wolf had been playing the Jinx, but both players able to play Jinx, so... That's a really nice switch up to have, I guess. You can just put Lone Wolf on like his best support when you get that pick. And if he's feeling more like playing AD, then he can always just play the Jinx. And Turtle's Lux is also pretty good. But you just get you get Lone Wolf and the Gingerbread Man roaming together, going towards bot side. They're gonna look for a dot. They're gonna look for a chase here. All right, now we gotta go down to bot lane. All right, Dragon up, Vision is there, Kel is there. This is great objective control from Ixtal here. They don't have to hit. They do not have to hit this. They don't really have to hit the ward, because there's no vision for the other team.
Red team has slain the dragon.
But Fuel is just looking quite scary. We do have Jock Show for the Ornn. Scritch has Storm Razor and not much else. If this Lilia could land, maybe if Lilia lands that ability. Oh, great use of the Herald. This should end up being the tower. Bang! One hit from the tower, and it should get second crash. They should guide this in for the second crash. It's gonna get second crash. Bang! Alright, so almost complete destruction of mid lane towers. Now Ixtal. Let's see what they go for, how they go from here. Realistically, with Fuel taking this tower, they should be able to shift the focus to top side or to bot side. One of the two, and try to take the towers. I think they should probably play on bot side. I guess it doesn't matter too much which side they play on. Oh my goodness. Akshan does get the shutdown onto the Vi. Wow, huge from Noodle. Oh no, oh no. A little unfortunate for Noodle Magic. He had a really great angle. If he landed his Bellows Breath onto most of the team there, that would have been probably a kill. Maybe there's a world where he flashes in for the Lux. But he opted obviously not to go for that with the Brittle proc being there. And now we do see the topside tower going down. Ixtal's doing a great job of converting their lead into towers and to objectives. Dragon's in 3 minutes. Baron is in 1.5 minutes. But it's possible this team could just take an early 20-minute Baron. The Fuel Lilia pick was so clutch. I didn't expect it, but it makes a ton of sense, and it's a champion that Fuel's quite good at. And Scritch onto really cool Turtle. Probably wants to... The Akshan wants to kill. Akshan will get the kill here with the ultimate, but that is Akshan ultimate used. Fuel just pushing out mid lane. Yeah, so Turtle was just a little too far up there versus an Akshan, because Akshan is still... Because Akshan was 1 and something, and now he's 4 and 4. Definitely a bit scary here for the... Scary, and Noodle Magic caught on the wrong side of things, but I don't think the Vi really saw it. Vi didn't really see it too much. Remember, starting to kind of collapse, but it might be a little too scattered for anything to work. Kel just sitting in the turret like a giant, sitting in the brush like a giant, just sitting like a giant monster in the brush. Unfortunately for him, it was warded. I'd like to see blue trinkets and I'd like to see some blue trinkets and sweeper in the coming in for some of the, especially for the Jinx. Perhaps also, and maybe you see Kel get a sweeper as well. We do see the blue trinket from the auction. And Bella not back, hasn't backed yet, but she might buy it, get it on this next back, or she has it and I can't really see it. Nope, that is a red, normal yellow trinket. Wow, really good stuff there. Focusing Scritch, and Scritch does die. Hockey Boy solo a Mumu ultimate. It's going to go down to the Jinx. Jinx is getting excited. Ornn ultimate used. Oh, that's a 3. Okay, 3 people, but none of those is really cool. Turtle. Nice catch onto Debella, but she's forced to flash. Heimerdinger just preventing them really from moving forward for fear of taking tons of damage. And this is a Baron turn? This is a Baron turn. Jinx being here with her Storm Razors. Static Shiv was the first pickup for Debella this game. She looks like she's going to go Static Shiv into what looks like a Ginsu's. Both players' cults are completed. They were completed a while ago. But that's a 21-minute Baron for Ixtal with a 11,000 gold lead. The gap is quite large, and a lot of this gold just comes from the top. Really, this gold mostly comes from top, mid, and support. Where Fuel, the Gingerbread Man, and Lone Wolf have been doing very well for themselves this game. Looks like we're also going to see another Drake. This one might be contested. Looks like they want to contest, but they're doing a great job of pulling it out. Trying to get it so that way you can get the Kel plus the Kel Eat plus the Smite. Oh my gosh, they waited a very long time, and I don't know if it was for the feast cooldown or if it was it was just a call. No, he had Smite, but they were waiting to give the feast. Quite good. They're gonna give blue buff over here to the they were trying to give it to the Lux, but the Vi red buff damage as Lone Wolf didn't quite do enough with the E to get it. Alright, we're going to spot out some stuff. We're going to spot out maybe some ward and perhaps some location of members on Ixtal. The main thing is that I think to beat the Heimerdinger team, if you can, you need to split multiple lanes. The Gingerbread Man is running into the Ornn. The Ornn is not very tanky as he only has 1 item versus the Eclipse Black Cleaver and partially completed 3rd item for the Vi. Alright. Baron nets them. The Baron buff nets them a tower and an inhib. And from here, I believe I would want to back up. I would just back up and I would rotate and I would go bot lane. I would make sure I got the kill. Wow, that thing saved a ton. Hockey Boy saving Cthulhu's life. But here's Fuel just coming down to bot lane. Really good plays. He doesn't have to take turret damage. The Gingerbread Man's going to take it for him. He's going to walk out with a lot, and they're just going to have Fuel here block the Auction ultimate. Very well coordinated by Ixtal. But these Lux ults have been flying on cooldown from Lone Wolf. Doing quite a good job with it. The Bella doing a great job dodging these zaps as well. This does kind of look like wraps for the match. I think it would take a really good enchanted crystal arrow in an instant kill of Fuel for this to end up bad. Or an overstay. An overstay into like a 5-man Mumu ultimate would be quite bad. Baron has ended. The team is going to leave this be. Really good job just taking what they can, getting 2 inhibitors with pressure of Baron and Drake up at the same time. it would be their soul point. They could give it up for Baron, and just say we can use this Baron to end game, in the next in 2.5. Or they can go for Baron and just they have to see what Targon wants to do. If Targon leans for Dragon, you can either give it or try and fight, because they are very far ahead, so they should in theory win any fights pretty well if they coordinate it. The big threat for Targon is the Akshan. But the Akshan's about even with Kel's Shogath overall. He's just swinging around. That's pretty funny. Meanwhile, backs have come in. Gold has been used. This Jinx is turning into a monster. Static Shift into Infinity Edge into what looks like to be a Phantom Dancer for third item. From other people, we have Fuel with Rylai's Crystal Scepter as a second item. The Vi is on third item, Death Dance. This Vi is not going to die very easily. Death Dance is a very, very strong item. Kel having that Demonic Embrace. Lone Wolf sitting with a 10-stack Dark Seal as Lux. And on the other side, most player... so Akshan does have 2 items. Does have the Yomu's plus the Storm Razor. The Ornn is level 13, has the upgraded Jock Show, but just takes Soul, is still taking a lot of damage. Cease and Desist used on Noodle Magic isn't great. Does die, no ultimate use. Wow, very, very good use of the Amumu ultimate. Fuel is gonna go down. Oh wow, they did get a shutdown. Kel's very deep, gonna die to the Ash here, I think. Wow. A turn of events, a lot of shutdown gold giving. Scritch a little deep though. Vi does also go down, gives a shutdown as well. That's a lot of gold. Lone Wolf also might look to die here. Hockey, okay, he does take Hockey with him, and the other two cannot chase him down, so Lone Wolf gets away. But shutdown's given over. Jinx probably going Runons or RFC. Gotcha. But Drake is gonna be up here, and no one's alive. There's just no one really alive for either side, and they're just dealing with a base in ruins. They're not triple inhibited, but all these minions in the base are forcing them to not be able to get it. And we're getting the teleport in from Fuel, so we're getting a quick soul here for Ixtal. Gonna get the Ocean Soul. They're gonna be so much more difficult to kill, and they're gonna have so much more easier time running away and letting a little natural regen come up. Baron's also up, and with everyone alive, we might see a fight. We might have to see Targon fight for their lives at Baron and try and do what they did, replicate a little bit of that magic to try and get the Jinx and Lilia kind of stunned up and removed from the game. But this is going out so fast. I don't know if they will be there in time. It's just a matter of are they going to have the nerves, and Kel gets the Baron. Hockey Boys gets completely rooted, does get a huge ultimate, but that does absolutely nothing. They're just going to run this team down. That is a dead Heimerdinger. Scritch has ulted has ulted Fuel, who doesn't care. Fuel's just going to keep going. He's not going to go down. He will be able to let a little regen come in. Oh, the Gingerbread Man is so beefy though. That's Dance. Kel's just saying, I don't even care at all about this wall. I am flashing over the wall. No minions on the way from top lane. They should kill the inhibitor, but I don't think they need it. Kel's gonna tank, and that's game 1. Ixtal taking game 1. Very, very nice win for Ixtal. This is... Alright. Let's take a look at the damage charts. Topped by Lilia. Going with 19,000 damage. Followed up by the Vi and the Lux. And then after that, some of the players from Targon getting some burn there. And just to note that this match is for each team's BoozeBash 9 lives. Ixtal is 1 game away from advancing to face Crystal Scar in the losers finals. But we saw just an excellent game from Ixtal, and Targon has side selection here. In the playoffs, it's whoever, like, it is. So in the regular season, it is some decision for the first game. I guess it's side selection from one of the teams, and then the loser selects, and then usually game 3 was a coin flip, but in playoffs it is loser picks game 3. So if Targon wins this, Ixtal will get side select into game 3. It seems like there has been a kind of consensus blue side pick for Targon, but we haven't been told the side selection. But also, if anyone is in here and wants to join me for this wonderful series, go ahead and let me know. Or just kind of hop in and tag me in the Discord if you're gonna join. But otherwise, that was a pretty banger match. I don't know if we let... I don't know what we let go through. Like, the Lilia was scary. The Vi was super scary. Maybe you drop something like the Kled ban, potentially. I feel like Fuel would... I feel like the Lilia being up... I think the fact that they can flex the Cho'Gath... Maybe you get rid of the Cho'Gath, even though he's not too much of a problem. But I feel like putting a Cho'Gath mid versus like a Mundo mid is a bit... Seems like a better prospect for Ixtal. So maybe you want to remove the Cho'Gath, put Kel on the Dr. Mundo, and just have it, and then they can have an answer for that. Either way. Okay, we're just waiting for a couple more invites, or one more invite into the lobby. We are missing... I think we're missing a member of Targon. There we go. Sorry, we were missing the gingerbread man. My apologies. I don't have him in my BoozeBash list of friends, but now I do. All right. Just gonna wait for Giraffe Link to get posted, and we'll get that up on the screen. Same sides, so no need to change. Looks like same sides, so no need to change the logos. And for the Targon side, I did like the Amumu pickup. I was wondering if they might just want to put Scritch on one of his more like something that he favors more. Like, I think the Fizz could have been pretty good there. You could just kind of try and, but maybe Fizz isn't great into that other team. It's interesting. The Akshan just was in a weird situation, and also the Vi was a very strong pick, so really, I will see what adjustments they want to make. The fact that Viego was left up and unpicked last game is a bit interesting, because I know Hockey and Scritch both play Viego, but they opted for the damage. They opted for the CC of the Amumu. I did like the Ornn for Noodle Magic. it just didn't go well that game. Fuel played Lilia very, very, very well despite taking an early death. Ornn is a lot scarier than you would suspect in the early lanes. His brittle procs do so much damage. Alright, so the draft is up. I'm gonna put that up on the screen now. But yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh, are we getting a side switch? Is Targon taking the other side? No. I don't know. All right, it seems like seems like the sides are switched this time. Looks like Targon looks like Targon's gonna be playing red side, and we're gonna get Ixtal on blue. They want that counter pick. The names in the chat, the names in the draft really confused me, is the big thing. All right. Teams are in place now. Now we can help maybe get this draft on its way. So yeah, we're going into game 2. And Ixtal has a 1-0 lead. All right. So yeah, I guess I'll talk more about what I might suspect from draft here. I could see. I wonder. It's just. I think. If something like Zac gets left up, which I don't think Zac is gonna get left up, but maybe there's a world where you just first pick Vi. Because I don't really think there's great counters. There's like no jungle counter to Vi. and you secured the champion that the Gingerbread Man just put on a show. Just put a show on playing against his opponents, and then you can maybe something. I mean, maybe Lux gets picked, and you have something that where you can give the Jinx to like Lone Wolf and can give Turtle another support. Oh, I have the wrong draft link. Well, I need the right draft link. That was this was posted in the thing. Oh, okay. Now I have the right one. Thank you, Kel. I saw it. It was posted. My bad. All right, bands are in. Vi band. The same bands from Ixtal. They have the Vi. They have the Cho'Gath band. What's this last band? If it's not Zac, it's probably a first pick Zac here. I think Zac is just overall the next best jungler, and you may not. And I don't know if the other team plays it, but I would bet someone on the other team could pick it, could potentially pick it. Especially if you want. I mean, there is a Hecarim. Like Hecarim is there as well. Hecarim's a very strong jungler, but they opt for the first pick Jinx. I respect this a ton. Let's see what is Targon's response to the B1, the blue one Jinx. It's gonna be the Lux takeaway. Maybe we see some lane switch ups from Targon here potentially. The Lux is Debella very likely taking that to some lane. I would guess it's going to the support position. Caitlyn Lux. So I think this is Noodle Magic Debella. But it could, and there is a specific pick for Cthulhu that I know she plays. And I'm wondering if that might be the pick here. Pretty blindable champion as well. For Ixtal's side, let's see what their response is, what type of support they want into Caitlyn Lux. If they're going to take the Zac for the Gingerbread Man, very nice pick. And let's see what they choose here. I would guess we're going to see the support. But we could see the Mundo picked here potentially and drop support down to the next set of picks. And it's going to be the Ornn. We're going to give Ornn to Kel. Kel has had some pretty good success on the Ornn. And also to note, Fuel is also another great Ornn player. Could be an Ornn mid, could be an Ornn top, and could be piloted by either player. So we'll see how this goes. This also means that maybe that with no Lilia pick or no obvious Fuel pick, they might have to worry about him picking something like a Lilia. There it is. There's the Neeko. The Neeko for Cthulhu could go into the jungle, could go into the mid lane. But Neeko's quite a strong pick at this point because of his flexibility to go into the jungle. And I know Cthulhu has played it mid against me when our teams faced off, and it was a nuisance. That Neeko was a nuisance to me. And they're gonna ban the Sylas away from Fuel. So they could potentially lean too much. They could potentially lean like too much into Fuel, and then Kel pulls out some pick. But Kel typically plays tanks top, so I don't know if you'd want to go double tank, triple tank this game without a Cho'Gath. They're gonna ban the Viego. I really like the Viego ban. You don't want Hockey or Scritch to have that. They're gonna ban Set. They're gonna ban Sylas. Lilia is up. Lilia was a menace last game, and she is still pretty. Like Lilia is something you probably have to look at the whole team. But if they pick top lane here, and it's something where Lilia isn't very pressured, I could see Fuel running it back. All right, we ban the Olaf, ban the Viego, ban the Asol, Seraphine, Gwen. I like these bans all around from both. I kind of like these bans from both sides. And we're gonna see how Targon, what Targon wants to blind. Here for the last pick, it could just be a top laner, which isn't really a blind pick. But let's see if they have a counter for top. They picked the Wukong. That's a Wukong. Wukong for Scritch, I would guess. I would guess that's a Wukong for Scritch. Huh. Okay, interesting. I mean, there's plenty of magic damage, so Wukong could technically be a laner. But I don't think Wukong does amazing into the Ornn. Ornn's just super tanky. Doesn't really care about your damage as Wukong. So, likely going into the jungle. Oh, a Mordekaiser. That's a really cool turtle Mordekaiser. Interesting pick. And let's see, maybe we see what's our final pick here? We need a support. So maybe Fuel's gonna pick a support champion that he likes here. There's quite a lot of good support. Oh, it's an orange support. What? Okay, I think okay, this is a laning Zac. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's so interesting. I think, I mean, the Jinx is going bot lane with the Ornn, I would imagine. I would imagine that's an Ornn going bot with Jinx, and I imagine it's jungle Elise, a mid Zac, and a Mordekaiser top. I don't think this Fiora is gonna be in a great matchup, but I imagine that Scritch taking Fiora to the top. That could be a Scritch Fiora and a Hockey Boys Wukong, I suppose. I would imagine that. But we will see where these champions go. Fiora is pretty great here, but I don't know exactly who's going where. The Zac is a flex and a half. There's like I could see Zac going to like 3 different places, or actually 4. But I guess the Elise kind of tips me that it's an Elise jungle. And I wonder who's taking that. That could be the Gingerbread Man pick, but I thought he'd be playing the Zac. But also Fuel has played Zac in lanes. Support Zac is something right now. So it could be Jinx and Zac with Ornn, with like Ornn mid, more top, Elise jungle. But yeah, let's put the draft on the screen. I would quite like to see a faster draft. And hopefully no mess ups. But we will see what happens. But if in a world where Fiora lanes into Ornn, Ornn is miserable because Fiora is so good into Ornn. Fiora is when I lane top and I'm picking Ornn, I pretty much just ban Fiora, and I'm okay with every other champion being picked into me.
You are right to fear me.
So
Now I'm angry.
all right, into game 2 client draft. All right, it's Lone Wolf on the Jinx. That was something I figured out. Oh, it's Hockey Boys on I guess it's Hockey on Fiora. Cthulhu definitely on the Nico. Yeah, it's a Gingerbread Man Elise. Is Elise like are the new items making Elise like better, or is this just a comfort pick? Like the Elise. I'm a little bit wary of the specific Elise pick. It's gonna be Scritch taking Wukong into the jungle. There's a pretty big Wukong potential against this team. There's not a ton of mobility from Ixtal.
It's your funeral.
where Wukong can get in there and where Wukong can really get in there and disrupt the team, and just Cyclones are can be at a premium here. Potentially. We're gonna ban LeBlanc. Alright.
Hey, you're lost. I get it. You used to be cool.
Alright. See, so the Bella will be piloting her Lux, which is on the level, like I would say on the level of a, which is definitely on the level of a of Lone Wolf, if maybe a little better. I don't know. It's tough. I feel like they have two different styles of Lux. And exactly as I thought, that is a fuel Zac. They're going to be able to take the Zac and the Ornn and kind of lane switch as they need. But Fiora's pretty I think the Fiora is a pretty turbo pick. As long as it's piloted well, I feel like it's going to be really tough for... It's going to be pretty tough. I do think the Zac is going to be support, though. I'm pretty sure. I don't really see Kel playing support Ornn. So, I think we're going to see a Lone Wolf Fuel Bot, a Mordekaiser into Fiora. Mordekaiser can be okay into it. I think Mord into Fiora isn't terrible for the Mord. Might have to give up like early farm and just let it push in. But I think Mordekaiser is quite okay in that matchup, I would imagine. Although if Hockey Boys plays it right, he can just get so much, like, Fiora is such a snowbally champion where she gets going, very difficult to deal with. All right, we'll just leave the regular draft up. We'll just leave the in-client draft up here. So yeah, maybe. Yeah, coming off a really great game. Let's see if Ixtal can close this in 2, or if we are going to end up going to a game 3. I think. I'm pretty sure that every single match this week has gone to 3. I think. No, Ionia and the Void went 2. Or Bandle City and Blessed Isles went 2. Okay, never mind. Not all of them. The last couple of them have. Because Ionia went 2-0. Bilgewater, Noxus won 2-1. Freljord won 2-1. And I think Shadow Isles won 2-1 as well. So continuing the trend would send us to a game. Would send us to a game 3. But so let's see if Ixtal can get this closed out here. I think this game I'm gonna keep my eye on Fuel. I'm gonna keep my eye on Fuel for Ixtal, and on the other side, it's Hockey Boys on that Fiora. Although Scritch on the Wukong can be quite dangerous if he gets going. Wukong versus Elise, I believe would have the early fights maybe against the Wukong, but I might be wrong. Either way, we're about 30 seconds from going into game. So we're getting ready to get into it. And we will see how this goes. Ixtal versus Targon game 2 coming up. I don't believe either of these teams has a really good enough level 1 to do an invade, so I would suspect perhaps a defensive setup or a 5-point from just both the teams. All right, swap over to the game. So Zach hasn't bought his item yet, but I assume it's going to be the support item. It's Relic Shield. So we're going to see Nico. We're going to see Nico into Ornn. Very likely we're going to see the Ornn lane to Nico. They are going to go for a level 1 here. Meanwhile, both sides are bunching in their own... Both sides bunching into their own positions on the map. Let me turn on objectives. Let me okay. Cool. All right. It looks like their top laner really should move. Their laners, the top laner needed to take a back. He should make it to lane on time. But they are going to spot him going to lane. The Ornn... What is Ornn doing? What is Kel doing? Kel just walked to lane here. Yep. I do like the Mordekaiser into Fiora. And we've seen mid Ornn just be fine into these mages. Let's see if Cthulhu can pick her... Let's see if Cthulhu can pick her... spot to maybe get some good chunk onto this Ornn. Oh, they're swapping. Okay, they're swapping the Fiora into the Ornn intentionally. They're gonna keep Hockey laning against Kel. I'm not sure you want Fiora into Kel in the short lane, but this is in the shortest lane. But it's okay. Kel can just play back, play safe, use his just try and use his Qs to farm. The second that he really commits to much, he's gonna take a ton of damage from Hockey boys. Hockey does not have Ignite, so there's no easy kill pressure unless Kel makes a misstep. Looks like Kel's holding his own in the lane so far. We have some trades going back and forth here in the bot lane. Top lane going pretty okay for the Mord into the Nico. But yeah, this is... Kel's getting the push. Hockey kind of just letting Kel push the lane in. And Ornn just needs to make sure to play safe. Don't really stick around too long. You're gonna see... Oh, first blood for Jinx! I totally missed that. I'm guessing it was a jump in. I'm gonna quickly take a look at that. Fuel. Oh, beautiful from Fuel. Alright, nice. No other kills went down. Just gonna zoom through. Zach's support, putting in the work, getting the Q into the jump onto Debella, resulting in a kill for the Jinx. And the Jinx is pretty far up in CS, and Caitlyn hates to be that far down in CS. Oh, beautiful parry on the Cocoon. Scritch waiting in the wings. Elise is gonna face check it. Didn't even place a ward. Oh, he's face checking again. He gets the ward down, but it's not gonna result in much. As Scritch is just gonna get cocooned. Hockey's in an interesting position. Oh, he should have done it. Maybe the Brittle proc would have been better there? I don't know, but either way, this Fiora is running for the hills against Ornn, which is something you don't want to see. I honestly don't even, like, my gut instinct was that Fiora's turbo, and I think she still is in the right hands. It just depends on, like, it will just depend in the end on how well Hockey can play the Fiora. His parries are quite good, but he's just taking a ton of damage from minions and then autos from Kel, and the Bellows Breath damage was really strong. So you see the Gingerbread Man being pretty active, going in here looking for... Okay. Kel, unable to get in there in time for the Brittle proc, does take a tower shot for his troubles. The Fiora can turn this pretty easily, but they do have a leash who can cocoon, who can just come over from the wall, maybe. Hockey's going to have to time this parry quite well. He does not time it. Scritch is heading over towards the mid lane. Kel is in a... They're not going to show me mid lane because they're going in bot lane. Kel is perfectly safe, but because it knows, I guess, nothing's really happening, it's just going to focus on bot here. Oh, Noodle Magic able to get a kill. In mid lane, nothing happened. That's kind of annoying. Like, I know they're fighting. I know that there's two fights breaking out, so the dark camera can only focus one. But it doesn't really tell lurking danger either. It doesn't exactly say, oh, the jungler's like this person's gonna go on to this. It's gonna be a 2v1. But that's a good return kill. This Caitlyn is right back in it in farm. It's a slight gold advantage. The first blood gold, kind of being the separator here. And a little bit, and the farm advantage in top lane is huge. Turtle just trying to keep a pretty strong. Oh, Noodle Magic getting caught out by the Zac. He's gonna get caught out by the Zac and killed by Lone Wolf. Oh, Cthulhu's on Kel. Huge damage. Kel's forced to E away. Oh, the flash as well. He didn't have to flash. But it's okay nonetheless. Now they're gonna send the Fiora into the Mordekaiser just because I don't think they like that matchup as much. The stun or the parry comes through, doesn't do anything to the Mord. Just prevents the Fiora from getting pulled. Oh, really nice here. All of that brings Scritch in, but Scritch gets the W off in time. Very, very good play by Scritch. I think no matter where he is, he can always just create a clone if he gets queued. I think that's something I didn't quite understand about Wukong. Kel is gonna not get the E into the pillar, which would have stunned up the Nico, but wouldn't have done too much otherwise. Lone Wolf pushing up. Zac is getting some vision down in the enemy jungle, looking for Scritch to see if they're in any danger, and they seem to be okay. Second round of buffs are going through for each team. Fuel is on a ward, and I think he knows it. He should know it now. The Gingerbread Man is going to go for a lane gank here. But top lane, a little bit of fighting going on. There's nothing really popping in bot lane yet. They're going to let the Caitlyn Lux push probably here from bot side. Oh, great from Kel. But Nico's just going to be able to harass this Ornn pretty well, and they're going, and it looks like this time Targon's going to be on top of the objectives and take the first Herald. They're doing a good job they're really zoning this Kate Lux off of XP, which is really bad. Oh, Kel is going to die to the Cthulhu. To Cthulhu on the Nico. Big kill for the Nico. But this bot lane is not looking so great right now with the XP being really far back. The Bella and Noodle have to really try and just force this with the Bella abilities or long range abilities to try and get this pushed into the tower to force the break. Oh, top lane, potential gank onto Turtle. Scritch is here with Cyclone, but nothing happens. No Death Realm used. No nothing. They're just gonna look to push us in and probably get some turret plating, but the Wukong is just backing away completely. Yes. Cthulhu will do what Hockey could not, which is apply some real pressure. But the thing is that Ornn's still very farmed. Kel has been doing a great job of just CSing in these games. He hasn't been falling super far behind. He did die there. I guess I should change his. I don't know where these. I don't know. I'm gonna leave Fiora as a top lane because she's top laner, but it's tough to compare the farm because they're lane swapping a bunch. Cthulhu's like. I really love that that with these Nico buffs coming out, it's really kind of unlocked a pick for Cthulhu here to really shine on. Had an excellent performance against Freljord, and now is having a pretty solid start. But it's still winning in farm. But this looks like a dead Mord. Cthulhu with with 2 solo bolos on both of the solo laners of Ixtal. Nico is pop blossoming off. And the Leandris is going to be finished. Yeah, Cthulhu's smurfing this game. And the farther this game goes along, the more this Elise not having an impact on the game is going to hurt Ixtal. I know Ornn is a late game champion, and Mordekaiser does scale pretty well, and Jinx scales pretty well. This Elise has to start finding a few more things than she's been finding. But the lanes for these teams haven't been pushing very far. They've been playing very well to not have the Elise be able to get a gank off. We see Lone Wolf looking like he didn't want to shove one more wave in and then take the back. Push this wave in, but maybe it was better to just take the back here. Maybe there's some gold. Maybe there's a gold a gold thing we're missing. Nah, he's sitting on 2,000 gold on the Jinx. So this is just really greedy, and with the greed could potentially come punish. Scritch was looking to go down towards the bot side. And I think that this Wukong could get a really good gank here if he wants to go for some flash play. But if this Jinx plays safe, then it's not too risky. But I would love to see them take this back with so much gold sitting in their pocket. I think that's a symptom I've seen that I've definitely had myself, is like having a ton of gold and staying even though I didn't have to. Kel flashing just because I think the Grand Challenge could have been given and he could have potentially died. I think we're gonna see Scritch maybe go for a W over the wall here and a Cyclone onto Kel. We could see a tower dive. Maybe a flash play, but Cthulhu getting pushed off by the Mord. None of these laners have Ignite, so there's really no danger. This Jinx is a sitting duck with so little bought. Gonna come back with pretty much a full item here. Like, alright, they're opting to move their mid. They're opting to send Hockey to bot lane with the Bella. Interesting. They want to really push these towers down. But that's not gonna. They net two. They do net 2 turret plates before the plating will go in a couple of seconds. But either way, the solo laners of Ixtal they're not that far behind, and a lot of this gold lead comes from the bot. All of this all this kind of gold lead savings of this is really being accentuated by the lanes. You have Cthulhu sitting with Scritch with the most gold in the game. Junglers get a lot of gold apparently, just obviously from farming camps and stuff. They do have the Elise coming around here for a lane gank for any aggression. But I don't think the Lux and the Caitlyn need to really push up for anything. Although the wave is coming to the middle of the lane, is going to come to the middle. Cthulhu and Mordekaiser are taking a trade. Oh, this is a dead Debella. Oh no! And Elise getting it. Oh, Crystal's going to get pulled in. But there's no follow-up to get onto the Caitlyn. Debella caught out by the gingerbread man with the cocoon over the wall. And Elise picks up the kill. Missed the cocoon onto Noodle Magic, but he's also going to die here. Another kill for the Elise, who can just repel out of any tower aggro. Oh! That's a Hockey Boys teleport that's not going to work out. Oh, he got pulled back in. A cocoon from Elise misses. Hockey Boy's in a very bad position. They're going to take the Bastion over the wall, but the Jinx ultimate, the Super Mega Death Rocket comes through. Takes out the Fiora. That teleport turned disastrous, and that's a huge gold swing going for Ixtal. A 3-1-2 Jinx who has a Kraken, who went first item Kraken Slayer this game. Oh, Scritch in the middle of a of a Rylai's owning Mordekaiser, taking a lot of damage, a lot of punishment from that passive. It is going to be another. It's going to be another. Oh no, sorry. This is a Hextech gate, Hextech soul. So it's going to be very important to get these. It's going to be very important to get these dragons. The dragon stacking has obviously started for Ixtal. Targon has gotten both ripped, so we've seen where both of these teams want to have their priority with the objectives. And so now they're sending the Jinx up to the top lane with the Zac, and they're gonna send the Mordekaiser to kind of play bot lane, play side lane. Has teleport. The next objective is technically Baron, but it's more likely gonna be Dragon. Kel with an ultimate. Oh, I see why they did that, because Fuel's coming in. Fuel's coming in hot, but Kel dies. And Fuel doesn't have ultimate. Oh, that was a little bit too early of a move, and it results in Ornn going down, which should result in a tower going down. And the Gingerbread Man almost dying. Scritch gonna flash and is gonna get onto Gingerbread Man. Oh, that cocoon was massive. Fuel gets the kill. Hockey Boys dealing with some Mordekaiser. So the auto comes off. He's gonna be in the middle of it. Oh, I'm looking to see the E. I'm looking for the W from Turtle. There's the E, or there's the W. Keep him healthy. This Fiora will not be able to kill. Beautiful flash. That's a dead Hockey. Great job from Turtle there. Mordekaiser ultimate used, but at the cost in his flash for the cost of a dead laner gets to push this in. No one's answering, so he can go a little bit further. He might just want to go one more wave and call it, because he's gonna opt to just place the ward. There's no wards in the enemy jungle, I'm pretty sure. So there could be a world where Scritch just wants to go for this Mordekaiser. And if only Caitlyn shows, maybe it's a little grade from the Mord, but looks like he's playing it safe. And all the other lanes are just kind of playing push, just letting the waves come to them, taking their farm, and they've now acquired a 2.4. I think he does. I think he's going. He's going Kraken into IE. He backed with almost 3,000 gold. So he probably just said, "What item can I buy?" Which his resulting answer was, "I buy this." I'm not sure I like the dive onto Fiora and Nico, and neither does Ixtal. Ixtal's gonna opt to pull back. They really shouldn't go for the dive here. They really should just go for the full 4-man. Go for a 4-man push with Jinx into the turret. But Jinx is... But they're deciding to go mid lane with the Jinx.
This seems, unfortunately for Targon, this seems like another game where a lot of their damage and a lot of their gold is on is in one person instead of being on multiple people, just by happenstance. And fortunately for Ixtal, I was saying how the Gingerbread Man, not really too involved in the game, he was at 0-0 and maybe 1, goes in and ends up swinging the gold in the favor of his team in just a couple of proactive moves on the Elise. He's keeping up with Scritch. He has his Night Harvester and boots, and even though Scritch has a few more items, the Gingerbread Man probably has some gold on back. Drake in 30 seconds. I would like to see this Elise go for a back if they have gold. They do not have a ton of gold. They could get a fiend. They could go for like something that needs a fiendish. This Jinx is causing a ruckus. A flash from Christo, but he gets spotted off the flash. That was a beautiful, beautiful Super Mega Death Rocket. And unfortunately, that's also the flash. Scritch forced to use Cyclone. Oh, but Cthulhu's also here to should be a potentially dead Mordekaiser. It's gonna happen. He bit off a bit more than he could chew. Scritch is gonna die in return, very likely here. No. But in fact, Debella is gonna get. Oh, Debella's taking so much damage from this Elise. That's a dead Elise. Nice flash away from Cthulhu. Oh, Fuel could have autoed. Fuel had an auto on the Gromp, but instead they were kind of just looking for a chase down. Jinx is turning on. Jinx with Hockey Boys is there, but they're turning on to. But they're opting to turn. They were looking to turn on towards Drake, I thought. And that's what they're gonna likely do. No Scritch. Scritch isn't alive. But the Gingerbread Man is there, so he can definitely have... He has the smite advantage. Teleport in from Really Cool Turtle. Kel just pushing top lane this entire time, by the way. Just farming up. There's so much advantage. Kel saying, I don't need turrets. Scritch is here, though. This is a smite fight. Smite fight goes to the Jinx. Both junglers are probably kicking themselves for that, but at least the Gingerbread Man says my Jinx secured it. No rundown coming from Targon, as there's not much they could really run down into that. Yes, she did flash into it. Caitlyn flashed into the Super Mega Death Rocket. But that might have been something else in that last fight. They're looking to start a risky Baron here. I don't like this Baron call that much, but no one's going to check it, so it's going to go through. I think Kel should... They're burning everything for it, but no one's going to be there, so that's a Baron for... Oh, Kel is in a precarious situation. Misses! He does miss the ultimate onto Hockey. I think that would have secured a kill. Super Mega Death Rocket goes wide. And now they just have to wait out Baron buff. It's a spike of gold for Targon, and Targon's still about 2,000 gold down. Really heads up play by Targon to spot that they just had a free Baron. I mean, it looked pretty sketchy. Hockey Boys couldn't stay on it, otherwise would have died as Fiora, very likely. Debella taking a huge chunk of damage from a 4-kill, from an Elise with 4 kills. With going for the Shadow Flame. Cthulhu's getting brought in to the Mordekaiser. Isn't going to be able to escape, though. Honestly, any Q landed. Oh, does bring the Nico into the death round. That is surely a dead Nico. One more Q to end it. Q auto. Flash. E gets it. Okay. Forced to use the flash to get the kill. With people on their way. So very good backup in case something happened. By the Gingerbread Man and Fuel going down. Hockey Boys running Demolish on Fiora. Oh, because running Grasp Fiora. Is that a common... I'm curious if that's a common build, if that's a common ruin set for Fiora is a Grasp. Or is it supposed to be Conqueror? I'm pretty uninformed about Fiora, so I wouldn't know. But Cal doing a great job on the farm this game. So is Really Cool Turtle. Grasp is very good at the melee. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jord, for that information.
Because I don't really know top lane. I don't really know Fiora matchups very well. Like, so that's good to know. Also, the Elise going Dark Harvest is interesting. That's definitely a build I would imagine that's a thing. My gut instinct on Elise would be Electrocute, because that way you can just get a quick burst of damage. But if you're gonna get people really low, the Dark Harvest is really snowbally. Shadow Flame should probably be coming in here for, yeah, Shadow Flame should be coming in here for the Elise. So a lot of players on these teams have 2 items. So ornaments coming through as well, as Kel is 14, and the first ornament went to the Jinx, which is a very good choice. Or it looks like Kel's gonna get run down here from Hockey though. He's gonna be forced to have to probably flash out. They didn't have it. Hockey Boys gets the kill, but there's no shutdown. Kel is just 0-3 on this. Is just 0-3 on this Ornn, but it's just doing his best in the side lanes, farming up, getting his levels, and the team's gonna be able to kill. Okay, they really want this Fiora, and I'm not so sure that they should be chasing this far for it. Drake is up in 50 seconds, so they're gonna have to get their way down. If they want to get the soul, they're gonna have to get down for it. Otherwise, they could probably just go. They could probably just force into a lane and force some heavy pressure. But the other team is really set up here on the Baron, or really set up here on the Dragon. They're gonna have to enter into a space with no vision, as the Gingerbread Man gets set down to about 25% HP. Scritch should get the kill here. Repel used. The Gingerbread Man taken and killed, and that's a really good pickup for them. Absolutely massive. Really Cool Turtle in the middle of the entire team. I think took Scritch into the... I believe he took Scritch into the death zone. No, he did not. Maybe, or it ended. But Targon with the setup gets 2 kills, and the Drake. Ixtal with the long chase onto Hockey Boys instead of letting him kind of be after the kill onto Kel, has netted a very close game now, and Fiora has 3 kills and a shutdown, so it's definitely going to be worth something. But Hockey Boys is running Hockey Boys just wants to split push this entire game, it looks like. He bought Hullbreaker, but has joined up with the team. I would like to see Hockey just go bot lane and force... I think the goal is to keep Kel out of everything. For the entire game. So yeah, I don't really... I mean, this game's a lot closer than it was at the beginning. Targon's making a great comeback, and I think they overall do scale quite a bit better. There's no one here to really help with get... I guess you could use the clones to go on each other, but Scritch is in a bad position, gonna get caught out and likely killed. It goes to the Elise. Baron's up in a minute, so the jungler will be alive just in time. They're making sure to keep Kel away from Hockey, and just gonna send the Mordekaiser down. The Mordekaiser is someone who can deal quite well with Fiora in her split push. He doesn't have to fight. All he has to do is just keep her there and not let her push. Forced flash from Christo, but Elise follow flash, and so results in a big trade of health from both players. Great chompers to keep the Bella from really going forward. But the Gingerbread Man is setting up because there's a Zac sitting there. The Gingerbread Man just needs to repel, but he needed to repel and maybe hope for somebody else to get it, but he's just gonna get chased down by this Fiora very likely. Flash from the Fiora to kill the Elise. Baron is up. Are they just gonna go for Baron? They're gonna go for Baron, and there's no jungler, but there certainly is enough people here from Ixtal. Mordekaiser in the side lane is pulling away from the side lane, going for the teleport. Oh, I think they want to fight this. This signals that they might want to fight this. Scritch is just in the pit. They're taking the Baron very slowly. Hockey Boy is on the side. Ornn with a nice ultimate
Orin ultimate does not hit, just only hits the jungler. Oh, this fight, the Jinx is here. Is Jinx gonna pop off? No, he's been flinched, he's been hit, and must have eaten some form of CC, but it's just not gonna be enough, and Mordekaiser's just wreaking havoc still. Fuel is gonna get chased down by Hockey Boys, but on the other end, Turtle's killing everybody. But did get CC'd by the Nico. And now Fiora can chase Kel and Turtle down, and it's likely to be some big plays from Fiora. I think that they should just try and find these other members. The Bella getting one, but gonna get taken down by Turtle for it. But but it's been long enough where Kyle has spawned. The Cthulhu dies, and Hockey's got 2 people on him now. Maybe he can dance around enough, but Baron not taken. Junglers are up for both sides, but a lot of players off the map currently. This last section has been pretty crazy. Hockey is really wanting to push and keep the players there. Probably just wanting to push to keep the players off from getting their backs off, because there's quite a lot of gold sitting in the players who are up. The Gingerbread Man could probably just take it back. The rest of the team is alive, and they're gonna look. They have Drake in a minute, and Baron is still up. Targon does not want to trade Soul for Baron, I would imagine. So you probably need to contest this Drake, but the other team doesn't have to take it. The other team could give Drake for Baron. Oh, it went. Okay, so Scritch did get the Scuttle Crab, so they have a little speed advantage in there. They're clearing out the vision. The big thing in this fight is they need to keep the Jinx alive. Jinx is a 3-item Jinx. And they're not going to have Hockey for the fight, so they should just... So this should, in essence, in 20 seconds, almost completely be a free soul. But if they don't play this correctly... Like, I don't think Hockey can really run their... I don't think Hockey can really run them and take their entire base. Oh, they wasted so many abilities for that. Kel is on the orange, gonna hit Cthulhu, and nothing's gonna happen. Hockey might just take the base here. They're gonna need to send Kel back to base here on the teleport. Or they're gonna need to win a fight. Or they're gonna need to ultra win a fight. Drake goes to Jinx. Soul is completed. Everyone's gonna go down here, and then they're gonna be able to get to... They should just send Kel back for the teleport. He should... He did it. He did complete it. Hockey Boys should not be able to complete the tower take here. In fact, he's going to go down 2 tower. Yep. Goes down to Bellow's Breath. And that's a kill for the Jinx. So now they should be able to just run Baron and take it here. They should, in essence, just be able to do that. But they're... So Hockey almost ends the game. I didn't think that I didn't suspect that it would go exactly like that, but no one really made any sharp movements for Baron, so members of the other team are going to be spawning, including Cthulhu with teleport. There is no good TP ward. Hockey has teleport, and any minion could be used as a teleport for him to get into the base. But this looks like it should be a free Baron here for Ixtal, and they get it. So that's a huge fight at Elder. Elder coming up in about 5 minutes means that the Elder fight probably decides who wins this game, unless Hockey, either in a way where Hockey is not at the fight and they just decide to try and end through Hockey. Because one thing is that split push is a very dangerous thing, and Fiora, with all her items, did actually buy Quicksilver Sash. Is going to pay the tax for Mordekaiser ultimate. But the other thing is that you can Quicksilver Sash. I think you might be able to Quicksilver Sash an Ornn knockup, and then you would be able to flash and reposition, like flash for reposition, and it would put you in a good spot. One thing interesting, that Fuel went for the Sunfire Cape. I wonder if maybe you're supposed to do something like Knight's Vow, where because his ultimate would be up decently frequently. Jinx is just going to use the turret taking ability Kel is not gonna die here to the grand challenge, but Hockey will get the tower. And Kel now might die to Hockey, boys. He needs to worry about it, but he should get away, yeah. But meanwhile, the team is just pushing the mid. It's just gonna push the mid wave as they're gonna 1-3-1. I think they need to 4-1. They need 4 members in one lane. I don't think it's the smartest thing to have. You just have the one person answering. You need to have the one person answering. But I guess it's working. So they've had Hockey back off from the lane, which gives them reprieve, but really only Turtle is pushing for the team, so he needs to be careful. It looks like he's backing off quite well. Ixtal doing a pretty good job here. They've gotten 2 towers with their Baron. Hockey is really a problem on the Fiora right now. He's bought the Silvermere Dawn item, not the Mercurial Scimitar. Opted for the other item. But he's in the fight with the Hullbreaker. They're gonna ult to Gingerbread Man. That doesn't do nearly enough damage. So he'll just be able to regen that up off of taking a camp or just healing in general. Drake up Elder in 2 minutes and Baron in 3. So Elder should be the next big fight, and Hockey needs to be prepared to try and get middle. And hopefully for blue side they have a good answer to Hockey here. Whether it's whether it's Mordekaiser not being at the fight or whatever. There's no Baron left, but they don't really have anybody who can. They're not really contesting this Mordekaiser taking the tower. So Mordekaiser gets a free tower. And Hockey's just playing back, waiting for them to push the lane out to him. Elise is somebody I wonder who might have enough damage to keep Hockey from really doing a ton. They're gonna clear out the vision. They're not gonna catch Fiora in the back. Gonna make sure she gets away. Kel just pushing out mid lane. Gold check. It's like Hockey has the most gold in the game, but he's been doing a ton of farm. He's been doing a lot of farming, and if pretty much he has slightly more participation than Kel this game, but still has like about a 4,000 gold. But like most of this gold lead is bot lane and jungle difference. The Gingerbread Man caught out partially. He had to flash. He didn't get the repel. Hockey got rooted. Oh, that's beautiful. Hockey could get killed. Is likely to die here. Fiora goes down. Scritch is caught out. Ixtal has found the fight right before the Elder. Oh, it's a disaster for Targon. Lone Wolf flashing forward, using the ultimate. Oh man. Those were in comments to your 2 solo kills early in the your 2 solo kills. But Elder Drake has spawned, so this is the fight. They need to. They don't really have a big way to contest this, unfortunately. So this should be pretty free with Scritch and Hockey down, and from here the fights get a lot more difficult for Targon. Baron's up in a minute. So Fuel and Gang. Fuel is gonna probably just kill the belly here with the. Oh, almost got the execute. This should be the execute. Though goes to the Elise. And from here, it looks like they're setting up just a mid push with the Jinx. There's no Baron buff, but the execute damage is so big that none of these people can really do a ton. But Ixtal really putting in the work here. Gets the inhibitor. This Jinx is so big. 8-2 and 8 Jinx. It's going to be very difficult from this point in the game for Ixtal to win unless they can somehow wait this Elder Dragon out. But Fuel can just leverage his own life because he has passive. He could just kind of leverage his own life to try and get in. Oh my gosh! Noodle Magic goes down to the Jinx! Their AD carries down. It's just Hockey Boys and Scritch left defending against all 5 members. Cthulhu's there too. Debella has spawned. Cthulhu goes in but gets killed before her thing can go off. Oh, the Elder Dragon. The Elder Dragon's burning everyone. Scritch goes down to Kel. Fuel lives. And that's it. Ixtal's going to take this in a 2-0 fashion. Beautiful, beautifully played at the end of the game. A little sloppy in the mid game, but that happens. Congratulations to Ixtal on a 2-0 victory. All right. At this point, the match is over. I'm going to switch to the main screen. And with it being over, if the captains wouldn't mind joining chat for a quick chat, that would be awesome. That last game was a pretty banger match until it kind of got broken open at the Soul a little bit, because Targon really clawed their way back in. In fact, I thought the way it was going, Hockey was just gonna be in a position to like really force his pressure to end the game. But some really timely teleport not getting canceled. Because it looked like his teleport just finished channeling as the tower was getting destroyed. But yeah, just Christo and Fuel, I think they both should have access to the chat, so if they don't mind joining, that would be awesome. But overall, game 1, a pretty resounding win for Ixtal. They seem to be in control for most of that game, if not all of it. And game 2 was more back and forth, and it got broken open when it was broken open a little at when the soul point was gotten, and then when Scritch, when the Wukong and Fiora got called out, kind of signaled a rapid, a very, very, and then from there the sequence of events went so clean. Hello.
Hey.
Hello, friend.
How's it going?
It's going well. I guess you're probably obviously not feeling the best after the match. But I hope that you all have had a fantastic time this season playing together.
You know, it is of course very disappointing to lose, but I must say that this has been probably one of my most fun BoozeBashes.
Yeah.
Just this team was really great to play with, and I'm super thankful for everyone.
Yeah.
Just keeping the vibes pristine, you know,
absolutely,
and doing things even when it was kind of out of their comfort zone, you know.
Yeah.
We have like 3 support players on our team, you know.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, Katie does play mid too, you know, but
yeah,
we have a lot of overlap, you know. And,
the Nico pick was so. I was like, oh, I feel like this is a game where we're gonna see a Nico, and I was right. And welcome, Fuel.
You're talking about the KD solo kills? Those were sick.
Yeah, they were. I wasn't necessarily talking about those, but in the draft, I was like, I know there's a pick that Cthulhu has, and I wonder if she's gonna pull it out, and it happened in the draft. But yeah, the solo kills, she did a great job there. The game, that game was super interesting because it was very close in gold for a lot of it. Because Targon did a great job of clawing back gold, but with shutdowns and then getting some objectives off of it. Obviously, Hockey's pushing mid lane to almost ending, like getting to 1 Nexus turret left at Soul Point.
That game could have gone very differently because Kel TP'd to the tower that the Fiora was.
Yes.
That was
I saw that.
It was dead.
I wanted to say I didn't say it on the cast, but I was first thinking like, man, just please teleport to the correct tower. Like, I've seen this before. Because that happened at funny.
You know what? It was benefit of the doubt. It was totally calculated.
Sure.
He got away with it. So obviously, and it put him closer to the Fiora, so it was obviously the correct play.
It did. Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, that was really up in the balance until that was such up in the balance, and then Wukong. Unfortunately, Wukong and Fiora got caught out in the top side jungle, and from there, kind of made Elder a tough thing to defend against, and from there it got a lot tougher and resulted in a swift, clean, and a pretty clean end from Ixtal. Obviously,
Yep.
Fuel, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You'll be moving on next week to play Crystal Scar.
We got a win.
Got a win.
We're so happy.
That's awesome. I'm very happy for your team.
Thank you.
I mean, having gone against both being in the bracket, it's always great to play against a lot of your friends in these matches.
For sure.
Yeah, and so
Except Noodle and I are no longer friends because he solo killed me after I got counterpicked on him.
oh yeah, the
Man, I was feeling so good after
Yeah, the
that.
oh
and
yeah,
that
the-
game
yeah,
just
yeah.
slowly declined.
I didn't. Yeah, I've been surprised at how many times I've gotten solos on Orin against people that I didn't think I should solo. Like, it's been
Yeah.
interesting. Orin has
Orin's
this.
nasty.
Orin's brittle procs are deceptively big in the early game. Like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah. They
I
do.
mean, if there's any, I guess you all kind of have the floor to say stuff about
Yeah.
your
I
thoughts
actually
on the
do have a question
matches.
about your game one draft, Noodle. What made you decide to put you top instead of Hockey and put Scritch in mid?
Well, this whole season, we've been thinking about me playing top. And I mean, we actually did it once, and I put a lot of practice into it. And I don't know. I think we were just trying to get something that would work, and it didn't end up working out for us.
Sure. I guess the most surprising part to me was that it meant that neither Devella nor Katie could play mid. Where you're two, I felt like most dedicated mid laners, but no. I don't know. I guess our team has also been known to shuffle people around in very strange ways.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
the last
against
game was an
Hockey's team,
example.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean the last game you got to play the Zac support.
I know. I guess second time this whole tournament it hasn't been banned, and this time I was like, no,
Yeah.
you can't have it. Jinja, this is mine.
Yeah. The Elise pick surprised me. That surprised me. Everything else every other pick made sense. And then Elise threw a complete wrench in my plan and I was like, okay. This is the fuel, the Zac is going to fuel.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try and give Kel and Turtle their best possible lane matchups. And they killed it. They killed it in the farming department. Both of them with so much
Once
fun.
they learn to respect Katie anyway.
Yes. The Nico was very scary in the early game.
Yeah. The Elise was mostly just because Jinja was playing hot. I mean, he popped off on the buy the first game. And,
yeah.
we're like, all right, let's let him cook. And we played one game of Elise earlier, and he said, you know what, I can play this champion.
Yeah.
And so we gave it to him.
Yeah, it
And
was
he did it.
like I found it interesting because I saw like there was a moment, and you'll see it if you guys go back and watch the cast. I was like, man, he's not being super proactive on this Elise, and then immediately like he goes bot lane, he picks off the Bella, he gets maybe even gets another assist, and then next thing I know
that was a frustrating.
and then
The dive was super clean.
and then next thing I know he's 2-0-2, and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. He did exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Cause,
Elise's biggest power is ganks against immobile champions and then tower dives.
yes.
So we were able to pick off one and dive the other, and that really blew it open in the game for Bert to get a big lead and become the monster you saw in that last fight.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really proud of the whole team. Everybody's been stepping up. Comms have been really good. I mean, mental and the mood has been really good the whole game.
That's good.
The whole season. People are the people on the team are really cool, but then but the actual league gameplay is finally starting to come together, so that's fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you put a bunch. You put like people who are pretty friendly with each other on a team. It tends to work. I mean, Lone Wolf and the Gingerbread Man are pretty good friends. You and Kel pretty good friends, and once the team just meshes, it really works out. I mean,
And now we're all pretty good friends.
yeah, absolutely. That's the power of BoozeBash. Like, I didn't really know anybody that well from my team until the season, and I got to know all of them a little bit. It's been really great, and obviously, I know for Targon, for Noodle's team, it's also that the team just looks super vibes.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, unfortunately, obviously, the Cook Noodle not being around for the last 2 matches is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, it really sucked.
For sure. So having and bringing subs in is just always a tough thing, because then you have to fit them in and kind of see how the play styles match up on the fly. It's not always great.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
Cook Noodle one of your friends, Noodle?
One of Bailey's.
This one is
Okay.
yeah. Okay, Scritch's
I think it was
friends,
his roommate.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
I was super happy to have him for the games we did, though. He's a great guy, and I hope he sticks around for more BoozeBashes.
Oh, me too as well. Yeah, he seemed like he had a really interesting, like, he had a type of top champion that frightens other teams. Like,
Yeah.
when you have to stare down someone who can play a Jax, like, that's tough.
Yeah, shades of
Snowy Birdie.
yeah, Birdie, or the before that, I don't remember his name.
Oh, Real
Yeah.
Folk Blues.
Yes.
Yeah, Toledo. He's Toledo. He's definitely Toledo's definitely would be in an upper bracket, and probably Snowy would too at this point. But
Yeah.
and that's just like product of, you see all these, like, we just see there's typically a decent chunk of turnover in Chemtech. At least there was this time around with a few players from my team moving up divisions. But yeah, I mean,
Could be.
it's been awesome to see all these matches, and I'm super happy I get to cast this. I appreciate the time that you guys gave for the interview portion.
And thanks for casting it, for sure.
Oh,
It's
you're
really
welcome.
appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Glad it's because we don't keep do our own VODs, so having something to look back and see positioning and do review is really good.
Yeah, I'm sure I miss a few things, unfortunately, because directed camera, but overall it's a pretty good idea of like the major action. But yeah, I guess I will give you all last words before we go ahead and close out.
Noodle, always an honor, both playing
You as well.
and playing against you.
Yeah, it was real fun. Happy to play these games, and good luck going forward.
Thank you. We will carry on the Targon banner.
Absolutely.
Forward.
Take it to us. All right.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody for playing. Thank you to you guys for the interview after, and for being wonderful captains this season. The next match, I believe there's one match left. No, I guess this was the last match for the week, because the other match happened earlier. So yeah, we'll be back next week with more playoffs. We'll have Crystal Scar versus Ixtal. We will have, I believe it's Noxus and Shurima, and we will have the Void versus Blessed Isles. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you all then. Have a great night, everybody.
See y'all.
See ya.